And welcome to NewsOK TV. It's Monday, August 23rd, 2010. In this very daily video, we will tell you about the videos and articles you don't want to miss. Everything from news to sports to entertainment, right at your fingertips.
This is NewsOK TV.
This is NewsOK TV. And so it is NewsOK TV. The top story on NewsOK.com today is an update to a story we first brought you 3 months ago. Remember back in June when a tractor trailer overturned while carrying 30 horses to a feedlot in Texas. The animals were bound for slaughter, but the truck hauling the animals crashed into a median on the Turner Turnpike. 17 of the horses survived the accident. The Oklahoman's Sonia Kohlberg visited with the survivors at their new home here in Oklahoma.
You were talking about the impact of this kind of a bittersweet event here. Tell us about the trailers and about the trailer wreck.
Well, you know, the trailer wreck, unfortunately, is one of those things that you hate to say was a blessing in disguise for them, but really it was, because it opened up the opportunity to have these surviving 17 horses have a second chance at life. So, you know, it's, at the same time, it's also a bittersweet moment when they finally arrive here. And you kind of feel all different types of emotions. You can't really put it into words, but seeing them roll in on that trailer and their heads peeking out the, you know, the side windows, and you can see the anticipation in their eyes, and you know, they're wondering what lies ahead. So it kind of just brings a lot of different things to you.
The kill buyers will often say these horses have to go to slaughter, these are the unwanted horses, these are the unadoptable horses. But as you can see, there are beautiful horses here that will make fine companions for families or individuals who would like to own horses.
I feel pretty confident that most of them are going to make a full recovery. You know, they have sustained some pretty serious injuries, you know, from a fractured jaw to a puncture wound through the stifle, you know, but I'm very confident that we can, you know, get them under control, get the infections under control, and get them back to where they need to be.
We can just use a NewsOK wipe on that. You know, your typical household cleaner. Use a wipe. To the rescue. All right, 3, 2. 2 anonymous donors paid for the board and care to secure the horse's release, as well as the veterinary work and transport to Oklahoma. All right, now from our sports page, it is a preview of the upcoming football season, and who's not looking forward to that? Both OU and OSU are gearing up for their first games, which are on September 4th. Our OSU reporters Brandon Chapman and John Helsley were at the Cowboys scrimmage over the weekend, and they give us the scoop on how the team is shaping up.
John Helsley and Brandon Chapman here in Stillwater, Boom Pickens Stadium. Brandon, the end of fall camp today. Talk about the vibe around this team as they now head into more of a regimented get ready for the season type practices.
It seems like there's a pretty good vibe. And talking to Brandon Whedon, he said, you know, he's ready to get out there and play somebody different. Obviously, I guess the defense had a pretty good day in the scrimmage. It seemed like the offense might have struggled a little bit in talking to Coach Gundy and some of the players afterwards. So it's pretty clear that the defense, maybe they're starting to figure out the plays, and things are turning their way at this point.
All right, you mentioned the scrimmage, a major scrimmage here tonight, 100 plays. Sounded like the defense got the best of things. Sounded like Mike Gundy was kind of pitching his lot with whoever. Last week, the defense did not have the best of things. Is that a good development?
Yeah, I think that is a good development. I mean, if you think about the defense coming out, and obviously most people would say that's the number one concern on this football team. I think most people feel like under Dana Holgorsen, they'll be able to score some points, but it's the defense that is the question mark. You want to see how those young players perform. Are they physical? Are they out there making plays? And it sounded like today that was the case.
All right, talked to Brandon Whedon a little bit. He talked about a little bit of frustration and not being able to move the ball, but he also talked about, hey, those defensive guys, they know all our calls, they know all our signals, so that's a factor as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a factor as well. I believe he told me Justin Jim probably said about 50% of their plays before it even started. So obviously that's a challenge. If the defense knows what's coming and you're still trying to execute it, that's going to make things a little bit difficult. But on the other hand, I mean, if you can still execute what you're trying to do and they know what's coming, that means you're doing a pretty good job. So it was a good challenge for the Cowboys, but obviously when you're going against Washington State, they're not going to know what's coming like the defense did today.
All right. There was a lot of talk about special teams work. It sounded like there was a heavy emphasis on that in this scrimmage, and some talk about a big play by Justin Gilbert, one of their exciting freshmen. Talk about his kind of development this preseason and what he might be able to bring.
Man, it sounds like Justin Gilbert might be your guy returning kicks this year. I mean, and talking to some of the players, you constantly hear them say, Parrish Cox reminds me of Parrish Cox. So he might be a guy who's a dynamic guy back there returning some kicks. And then talking to Andrew McGee, you know, he seems excited as any fan could possibly be to see what Gilbert does back there.
All right, Brandon Chapman, John Helsley. Mike Gundy, after the scrimmage, we talked about the defense having a big day today. He said a lot of that was just they were more physical. Mike talking about the offense struggling, the defense having a big day. Here's what he had to say.
Obviously had about a 100-play scrimmage, and defense performed very well and corrected a lot of their mistakes from our scrimmage a week ago. Had very few penalties on that side of the ball, which I was pleased with. Thought they ran well and tackled, and did not make very many plays on offense. Saw a fine line where you make a few catches down the field and convert, get on a roll, and you look really good. But we had too many balls dropped on the ground and had some mistakes and just didn't play very well on that side of the ball, which allowed the defense to make a number of plays and had a much better scrimmage than we did. But that's part of it. The good news is we're 2 weeks out from playing. We've got plenty of guys who can make plays, but we didn't perform tonight. We needed somebody to step up and show leadership on that side of the ball.
You still said we on offense, and you've kind of been playing more on the defense, but you did stand behind the offense.
Well, it's just we from whoever didn't play as well.
Take the we side.
Yeah, it was we on the defense a week ago when we couldn't stop anybody. But it was interesting watching 3 or 4 passes that were dropped. If we make those plays on that side of the ball, then it changes the game. You know, you're probably talking 100, 150 yards in drop passes. So players need to see that, and coaches will see it and correct it and move on and get better next Tuesday.
You know, the first couple of drives we stalled out, but you know, just didn't get going quick, you know, early on, and you know, it's we can't let that happen. You know, that's not like us, and that was. But like I said, once we settled down, pulled it together a little bit, put together a couple of good drives, and made some plays, and finally scored a couple touchdowns.
It's really a disappointment. You know, I can come up with a bunch of reasons why things didn't look very good out there, but they're all nothing but a bunch of excuses, and we're not going to rely on excuses around here. So, you know, the thing that's disappointing more than anything is we put a bunch of guys in position to make plays and they didn't. You know, and it's the name of the game. If we block things up and make the right decision at quarterback, get the ball in space, people got to make plays, and I didn't see that tonight.
We went out there and accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We wanted to play very hard going into this last scrimmage of camp. So, I mean, we still made many mistakes with the young guys, but we're going to get in that field room and get everything straight.
Broderick Brown, he's a cornerback. We had some good plays from our safeties, Markel, Johnny, and Mathis Long. You know, we had pretty good amount of guys stepping up today. So.
And for more information on the Cowboys' upcoming season, be sure to read Brandon's column and watch Brandon's videos on the team's progress. You can find all those, of course, on NewsOK. Now, Sooner fans, we haven't forgotten about you. Kickoff for this year's OU Texas football game has been set. 2:30 p.m. October 2nd. The game will be televised by KOCO, that's Channel 5, the ABC affiliate in Oklahoma City. And there are plenty of videos for OU fans on NewsOK.com, including interviews with some of your favorite players like DeMarco Murray. And Barry Trammell has a column today that says the numbers say Murray ranks among OU's elite running backs. We have the senior running back in his own words.
No, the young guys did good at running back. Landry did a good job. Joe, the receiver, did a good job. I don't really pay attention too much to defensive guys, but offensively speaking, we all did a good job. There was a lot of guys who made some big plays for some key third down plays, and I think, a lot of us did well.
And plenty of OU and OSU football coverage all week long, including a little something special this weekend. Now is a better time than ever to be a receiver in Oklahoma football. That's why you need the best coverage team anywhere. Pick up the Oklahomans high school football preview on Friday, August 27th, and the college football preview on Sunday, August 29th. It's football coverage from the best reporters in the state.
John Rohde, Brandon Chapman here, 24-17 victory.
He's been proving people wrong his entire career.
The Oklahomans high school and college football previews, August 27th and 29th. There's never been a better time to be a receiver in Oklahoma, and never a better time to pick up the Oklahoman. Fire up the grill. Every week, our food gurus bring you a variety of recipes, everything from salads to desserts, and our food editor, Dave Cathy, takes you on a culinary tour of Oklahoma. This week, Dave stopped by the Inca Trail for a refreshing, cool summer dish.
Hi, I'm Dave Cathy, the Food Dude. Let's face it, it's been super hot this summer, miserable. There's nothing better than ceviche on a hot day, though. Raw fish, citrus juice, they meet, they make explosive flavor. If you like sushi, you'll love ceviche. We have some recipes on NewsOK today to show you how to make your own. But just recently, I visited with one of the newest Peruvian restaurants here in town, Inca Trail, where Chef Neil Zambrano showed us how to make ceviche and also told us a little bit about his restaurant. Now, ceviche can be found at a number of restaurants like Big Truck Tacos, Iguana Mexican Grill, Mama Becca in Norman and Edmond, and then, of course, Zarate's in Edmond. The common link on several of those restaurants, Peruvians. They know their stuff, so Chef Neil, show us what it's all about.
I mean, I've been growing up with the ceviche. I mean, my family, you know, my grandma all the time, I living closer to the ocean, so always we prepare ceviche. I remember my first ceviche I make is gonna be like 12 years old. I think when my mother told me, hey, start doing the lines. Okay, what you're supposed to be doing here, put a salt, or, you know, kind of spices in here. I mean, the process is not too hard, it's very simple. Just get a fish, try to get a good fish, you know, not, sometimes here it's kind of hard to get, like, you know, because it's frozen, so try to get it defrost first, try to get it cut it, you know, like a sushi cut, I think, kind of small cutters. And then try to put a line first and get a little bit, like sometimes put it 1 minute to get the line, get it mixed with the fish, get it soft, start mixing it together, and you can add whatever flavor you need. I mean, the line, the fish, and salt. This is the ceviche. For most of the people use different kind of stuff and put in there. You can add yellow peppers, like ají amarillo is from my country. You can use rocoto, it's like a kind of jalapeno. In Peru, is a rocoto, is like look like bell pepper, but it's kind of red. And add to there, you can ginger, a little bit of things. It's depending on what kind of flavor, because some people don't like one flavor, to another people don't like one thing. I mean, Inca Trail is me and my friend Jesus, is my friend, and this is the other owner. Me and my friend Jesus been thinking I opened this place for almost like 6 months ago, because I have a small place in Southwest 44 in Paine called El Pojon. And me and my friend, we're thinking and I get something different, more, you know, a little more different kind of, I mean, a restaurant a little more bigger, get some more food, different kind of liquors from Peru, different kind of stuff. We try to get into Oklahoma people different kind of stuff, because more of the places in here is a lot of places, like a Mexican place, sure. Italian places, Chinese place, so we try to get something different in Oklahoma City.
Now, personally, I haven't been to the Inca Trail yet, but he mentioned the place on the south side, El Polon. I had been there, very good stuff. As El Food Dude mentioned, you can find more recipes for ceviche and other summer-friendly meals online at NewsOK. Well, there was a buzz of activity at Wiley Post Airport over the weekend for the 32nd annual Okie Derby. Pilots and co-pilots of 24 planes participated in the proficiency race. The Oklahoma's Darla Slipke and Paul Hellstern were there as the contestants took flight.
Planes from various parts of the country and the Oklahoma area. They put in what their speed will be, so their time is set, and then they tell us their fuel, and then they go out and they fly the course. The course is from Oklahoma City to Guthrie to Craig, Purcell, and Anadarko, and back to Oklahoma City. And while they're on the course, they're burning their fuel and their time. They want to try to get back into Wiley Post at the time they said that they would be back, and on the amount of fuel that they'll be back, and that they'll burn while they're on the course. So they go out, fly the course. Usually our winners are within a second or right on their time, and our fuel is within a tenth of a gallon or right on the money exactly. This is the 32nd annual Okie Derby air race. We have what the main point of the race is to provide scholarship for women mostly. It can be anybody, but it seems to always be a woman that applies. That allows them to go on and work on their aircraft ratings in the future to further their careers in aviation. We awarded over $15,000 scholarship over the years. And this year is a $5,000 scholarship to Susanna Hayward. She'll be working on her multi-engine and her thrust. I enjoy the camaraderie, seeing my friends every year. I enjoy the aviation aspect of it, getting to fly, and then obviously the competition. It's a lot of fun too.
All right, this year, Terry Carbonell from Florida was the winner of the challenge. Well, be sure to stay with NewsOK for the latest news and information. I say that every day. With something new today, it's the NOAA communities. You can find those on NewsOK.com. They feature Edmond, Midwest City, Norman, Oklahoma City, and Yukon. It's at the top of NewsOK today. Be sure to check those out. And coming up tomorrow, a closer look at what's planned for the now vacant Kaiser's Ice Cream Building in Midtown. You can find all the videos mentioned today and plenty more online at NewsOK.com. And we'll be back tomorrow with a fresh video lineup. In the meantime, enjoy the heat, everyone.